Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News and an unbelievable day in the Valorant world yesterday. Some of these matches we are getting in the playoffs are beyond belief. The three champions of Iceland, Berlin, and of course the world champions Ascend are not going to be attending Iceland in Reykjavik. A new international champion will be crowned. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Almost at 12k. Just absolutely love to see it. Of course, many teams after failing to qualify, they're certainly considering changes. 100 Thieves are most definitely up there right now. We talked about those changes yesterday that they are very much considering making, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in the coming days. Also, Valorant to finally fix their game, right, to finally fix the game, and competitive supposedly is back in business after the raise issues, despite a few sound issues. So, well, yeah, hopefully that's all fixed. Wanted to mention this as well, just real quick, because I thought this is kind of incredible. A lot of regions, well, some regions are doing these playoffs on LAN, which is fantastic. Of course, in North America, Europe, it's being done online for understandable reasons. But I mean, look at this setup right there. Have like some people were saying that this looks like it's in an icebox shipping container, but I mean, yeah, like look at the teams, how close they are. I kind of wonder, really, it looks kind of claustrophobic to me. But honestly, like, could they potentially hear the other teams calling strats? Like, they're so close to each other that they probably could if they really tried. Like, they'd probably have to like cover their microphones and stuff when doing this stuff to make sure that they don't get heard. So interesting stuff, I'm sure. Just wanted to mention real quick the results of this series. Actually, a surprise. Crew got upset in the Latin America playoffs. I don't cover all regions. I just don't have the time or interest in every single region to possibly cover everything. I'll cover like things from different regions when they're particularly interesting or spicy or dramatic or whatever. Personally, I'm going to keep covering the regions that I'm most interested in, North America and EMEA, and then I'll wrap everything up when we get to the end. There is just too much to cover in Valorant to focus on everything, to be perfectly honest, but I appreciate all the comments from you guys saying like, you know, can you talk about this story, talk about this story. If you like send me a DM on Twitter or something of a particular story that you think is interesting from certain regions, then if it's relevant to what we're talking about on the day, I'll throw it into the video. But we've got to talk about the other regions because wow, the matches in EMEA last night were just absurd. The first one, G2 versus M3C, or Mech, I guess, Masters 3 champions, former Gambit roster. Well, it is the Gambit roster, but not representing Gambit anymore, given the situation in the world. They played G2 last night. In fairness to Gambit or M3C, they've had a very difficult time over the last several weeks, right? Like, all their matches got rescheduled. They had to play so many in such a short space of time. But against Fnatic, they almost got the victory. It felt like they were going to get over the line. I felt like, wow, the resilience in this team is so impressive. It felt to me they were kind of the second best team in EMEA after that loss to Fnatic. And then I was like, okay, they're probably going to come out here and get the job done against G2. Not what happened at all. G2, like, after this change, of course, keloqz decides to leave, goes to Heretics, effectively. Mixwell comes back in. I was wondering, okay, like, wow, Mixwell, they benched Mixwell for a reason, right? keloqz was pretty good when he came into the lineup, so now, okay, will they be able to get back to that form again without keloqz in the team with Mixwell back? Seems like they most certainly can. Win the first game 13-8, goes to a second map as well, and G2 take this one as well on the binds. So, well, shahZaM keeps them alive. Mech didn't really turn up as they did against Fnatic, but I mean, yeah, just a phenomenal series, a phenomenal few days. And what that means is that G2 advance in the lower bracket and Mech are out of there. So Gambit are gone, Sentinels are gone, of course, Ascend are gone as well. So, you know, just remarkable. The champions of last season are nowhere near actually being able to retain their crown, right? Not even getting to the Masters event to even try and retain their crown. Is it something that certainly I think a few people would have predicted going into this year? As Dephh says, 0-2 versus G2. I don't know what's happening with me. We'll take a rest and come back strong. He goes on to say, like, that's not excuses, but you know, everything was not going for me this tournament. I just knew that I'd have really hard troubles with my back. So he has like scoliosis 4th degree, so like a curvature of the spine. Posture check for those watching right now. Make sure you're sitting up straight. But yeah, Hammond's on my health and with my mental as well. So tough to see for Dephh. I hope everything works out okay for him. And you know, this is just from Fionn Fire, right? Sentinels, Mech, that being Gambit, of course, and Ascends, they're all out of there, right? To even try and defend their crown. So there will be a new international champion come Iceland here in a few weeks' time. This is the overall series stats, G2 versus Mech. I mean, yeah, shahZaM plus 11. Avova Mixwell made it like a Mixwell had a great series on the chamber, actually. So definitely shout out to him getting brought back into this lineup. And they will move on to play Liquid in a rematch in the other side of the bracket. So super exciting. This is the Liquid game though. So they play Gills. Honestly, both maps very close indeed. But again, Nevera is just too good. A few key moments here from Nevera on both the Breeze and on the Ascent as well. This one was just a kind of a pretty tragic. Poor, you know, poor lad right here, Russ. He's just sitting there waiting to die as, of course, the Killjoy suppression comes through. He gets detained. And yeah, unlucky Sancho gets knifed in the face. So was so close to making it happen here and getting the kill to close out this round. Doesn't happen in the end. TL take the series 2-0. They progress in the tournament still, but it's going to be far from easy for them to make this run happen. Because yes, they beat Gil 2-0, Scream at Nevera, the duo. They make it happen. Yampy with a better series here than he's had in quite some time. And that leaves the bracket looking like this. So Fnatic, FPX, they're guaranteed to go through to Masters. There's only one more spot up for grabs. The winner of Liquid and G2 will get the final spot in Masters. They played in the first round and Liquid won, so I feel like I should take Liquid again, but in fairness here, I feel like G2 have looked somewhat stronger since they went down. I still think I'm going to take Liquid 2-1, but I mean, yeah, that's going on today. Fnatic also to determine who gets to the grand finals. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day who wins this. Now they both qualified, but of course you want to win the playoffs. Let's talk the North American region then. So as Vanity says, two cat girls looking at each other, but we got to talk about the version 1 versus Cloud9 series here in a second. Firstly though, let's talk XSET versus LG, because honestly, Cryocells might be the most ridiculous player that I've ever seen. This guy, his stats over the last 30 days, and I'm pretty sure in his last 3 series he's played, he's like plus 80, which is just absolutely absurd. And well, Zekken has some great kills right here. The first map goes 13-5. I felt like XSET would win this, but it was somewhat more dominant than I was expecting, especially on this game one, 13-5 here on the breeze. Then on the game 2, there was, I mean, LG won a few nice rounds. Cryo right here with a 1 versus 4, gets 2 kills in the back with the knives. This is an ace as well, and has a 1v2 still to pull off. The defuse, well, he has to get the defuse in as well. Like, look at this play, this poor Sova just gets absolutely obliterated, and the final kill as well is disgusting. So Cryo, you can never count him out of any situation. Like, to think that 100 Thieves were going to get Cryo, or at least that was on the cards. I'm pretty sure they wanted to get him, but it didn't work out for whatever reason, because they were considering, like, I think the whole plan was they were going to bring over Breezy from kind of CSGO, and therefore it delayed the whole Cryocells acquisition thing, and therefore they couldn't get him, and XSET managed to pick him up instead. But yeah, this guy's honestly ridiculous. Like Vanity says, Cryocells best player in the world. They win that series, it's 2-0. XSET move on to the tournament. Their next round matchup though does not get any easier. Cryocells are casual plus 28, 47 and 19. Shout out to Zekken as well. Both of these two dominated the series. They take down LG. Lots to learn for the LG guys. They looked pretty good here. Did somewhat better than I expected getting to losers round 2. But yeah, at least proved they're up there with the best of the best. Just to mention this real quick, right? These are the last 30-day stats here for Cryo. A 1.63 on the Jet, a 1.64 on the Chamber, with just insane ADR. Like, this guy is no doubt one of the strongest players in the North American region right now. We'll see if he can do anything today up against Cloud9, because yesterday, a matchup that a lot of people thought could even be the grand finals at this tournament, Cloud9 versus Version 1. Not even to qualify for Masters, just to ensure they continue on in the bracket. And it was, well, Vanity with some great performances here early on against V1. V1 have definitely proved they're one of the strongest teams in the region. Like, that second kill was absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. Through all the smokes that were going down, Vanity just said, big brain, to be honest. But yeah, Cloud9, the favourites going into this tourney, they find themselves in the lower bracket, and Version 1 as well were right up there. So honestly incredible that it even came to this in the lower bracket. And V1, I feel kind of bad, right? Because they looked so good, 5-0 in their matches. Seemed like one of their teams to beat most certainly in the region. But of course, Cloud9, when push comes to shove, they were the team that get over the line. Very close fought affair, to be honest. This game 1 was very close. Whippy with so many kills over here towards this A-type to lock down the defensive side. They win the game 1. It got 1-0 in the series, but that is not enough. Cloud9 managed to bounce back. Good resilience from them. They go to the Ascent. And I mean, yeah, despite what FEs did, didn't really matter in the end. Cloud9 on the offense, they got the job done. This final round as well, a 1v3 from Zeta to close out this map. Like, I mean, yeah, this is an absolutely huge clutch from him, to be honest, because 12-10 at this point. Offense, always can be somewhat sketchy, right? It's a pretty decent possibility that you lose a few offensive rounds in a row. But, I mean, yeah, Zeta makes it happen. The wallbanks come through. The Hunter's Fury gets that kill, and that's job done. Game over, 13-10. Take it to a map 3. And as you can see already here, despite a nice clutch from Xander, Cloud9 just generally got the better of them. 7-5, I believe, in the first half. Closed out on their defense. And it wasn't quite as crazy a map 3 as we saw in Fnatic versus Gambit, for example, Fnatic versus Mech, in that unbelievable series of a couple of days ago. But yeah, Cloud9 get over the line. They continue on. No guarantee still they're going to make it out though, right? Because, I mean, honestly, the losers bracket is absolute chaos. They have to play XSET next, and Version 1, after all this great work they did through the regular stage, they unfortunately don't make it through to the playoffs. Disappointing playoffs, to say the least, but it is what it is. We at least showed we're still back amongst the best of North America. That is a step forward. And the thing is, yes, they fell out here in the second round of the lower bracket, but many other top teams are also going to be falling out, because only 2 teams of North America get through. Seems kind of criminal, to be honest, but it is what it is. Vanity says 2-1 Version 1, V1 without Katir's buff. Of course, yeah, Vanity, formerly of this team, now on Cloud9, still gets the better of them. But if anything, the uphill battle from here for Cloud9 only does go on to continue. This is the overall series stats. So yes, I mean, yeah, the overall stats look like this. Leave Zeta with some of the more impactful performances, but generally all across the board, a very, very even affair in terms of ACS right across the team. Very even effort from all the boys. 13-10 on Breeze, 13-10 right back at them on Ascent, and then 13-7 on Fracture in the end. Cloud9 over the line. They continue in the tournament. Loads of defuses coming in here as well, as tends to be the meta on Fracture. But this now leaves the bracket looking as follows. So, today, Optic versus the Guard. The winner of this series gets the first qualification spot. The loser goes down to the lower final. So both of these teams, Optic and the Guard, only have to win one more series, and there will will get through. But winning that series is not going to be easy. XSET or Cloud9 haven't in the lower brackets. Cloud9 certainly favourites. I think I'm going to take them 2-1, to be honest. I can feel like Cryocells are just going to drop some ridiculous stats one map and win them the map. But I feel like Cloud9 should be the better team. They should win this 2-1. They're going to play lower finals tomorrow, playing one of Optic or the Guards. I honestly don't even know how to call this, to be honest, but I think I'm going to take Optic. I think in a pressure matchup like this, Optic should be the team that gets over the line. They beat Cloud9, so I'm going to take Optic 2-1. I'm going to take Cloud9 2-1, but yeah, I might be very much off the mark here. And the Guard have already been prepping their phenomenal graphics for the matchups later today. But yeah, honestly, what a ton of events these last few days. Only 2 teams qualify. It's going to be an absolute gauntlet. Very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tells the YouTube God this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Cryo re-clears. And honestly, Moose is not here yet. Dazzle's gonna have to check this. Dashing on in and then up and over. Breaks the camera. That's 4 for Cryo. 1v1 with Moose. Back through tree. Toggles it once more. Moose to check. And then bang! Cryo for the ace! Are you kidding?
What? What? Oh, right in the ear. Man, that Sheriff. With version 1, they're getting the kills that they need. It's all on to Zeta. 1v3. Whippy and Effie's both weak.
The ult, he has the ult, but Celsius has full HP.
No shot, and they're gonna swing him. Effie's is gonna
He
push
gets
him.
knocked
Effie's
out.
is gonna push him. He takes on his very down, and he lands the shots. The Red Bull clutch to push us to map 3. No freaking way.
What is that? Celsius